So this is, I'm going to do some kinesio tape on the shoulder, and in this particular situation, there's different ways to stretch the kinesio tape to get the desired result. In this particular situation, I'm going to actually cut a piece off and put it right here. And then the amount of stretch that you're doing, you're going to stretch it out somehow. You know, it's either going to be stretch it out this way, or you're going to stretch it out in other directions. But in this case, I'm going to stretch it out this way. So I'm going to cut a piece to surround his shoulder about, let's do 3 blocks. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's always an estimate, and if you're not exact, you'll be fine. So I'm going to cut at 3 blocks right here. And then what I'm going to do is cut it off. I'm going to tear it at the center, like this. I'm going to tear the piece of paper at the center. And then I'm going to start peeling that tape off. Okay? And go to the edge, like about 1 inch. Okay? And I'm going to put it on his body. I'm going to stretch it this direction stretch it about 50%. Not all the way, but maybe about halfway. Get a good stretch on it. And I put it right over there in his right underneath his clavicle bone. So this bone right here is not the clavicle, a scapular bone. The top of that wing bone. You're going to do it right underneath there. So you're not going to put it on top of the bone. You're going to put it right underneath the bone, the top edge of the strip. So before I do that, though, he's going to stretch out his arm, and you always stretch the arm in a certain away from. You want to stretch it so that there's mobility. If he's pulling his arm forward, you don't want this to feel too tight. So I'm going to put it on with his arm in full range of motion. So I'm going to put it just like here, and I'm going to put it down like this, like that. So I stretch it out and then put it down, and I leave it alone. I rub it in. Heat activates it, meaning that if you hair dry this and you can get it wet, that's fine. But if you hair dry it, it may become a permanent tattoo. So you don't want that. Okay? So this part here at the end, you don't stretch, you just let it go. And then just kind of like, now you can put it down with heat. I rub it like that. Same thing with this one. And let's see if this makes a difference on him at night. So now we're going to do his arm. And his arm, he's got a lot of swelling right here. You want to look down here. So what we're going to do is we're going to put 2 strips, and then, so this is a little bit different. So just approximate how, I did 2 last time. I'm going to do 2 again. 1 here and 1 here. Okay? And then, you're going to do that every night. Probably till about, this one you're going to do a pretty good stretch. I like to do a full stretch on this one, because that'll help to drain the fluid a little bit better. Actually do it like about a 50% stretch. We'll try that out. So remember, when you stretch it out, it's going to actually be for longer than this, right? Because you're stretching it out more. So you have to cut it a little bit shorter. So let's do this. We want it to end right about right there. So let's go to about right here. So about, let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks. So I'm going to cut 2 strips of 5 blocks. Got 2 strips of 5 blocks, and I'm going to actually cut this in half right here, okay, so that it actually goes to his fingers, okay, because he's got inflammation always down to his fingers. So now I'm going to cut right here at the end, about 1 block on each of them. Okay, so now those 4 strips are going to go over his fingers. So now we're going to do the first one here. Okay, so again, you rip this one, you're going to stretch, you're going to plant it here. This one here, I actually planted in the center. That's what came on first. But this one, I'm gonna start down here. So remember, you want to end up at close to the tips, but you don't want it to run over the tips, because then it'll be hard to stick. So I'm gonna go approximately right here. So like about at the base of his fingers here. I want to let it in, so I'm going to start right here. You put your finger right here, right there. So now I'm going to rip the end, okay, not the center. I'm going to put that right now. Do you want me to shave this?
Comes off easier if you shave it.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and shave it first. Can you click the pause button?
Where?
Let's see. So I shaved the hair off so it'll be easier for the kinesio tape to come off. And so I'm gonna start right here. And you're gonna just no stretch, okay? You're gonna rub it so that it stays in place really well, because I'm gonna stretch it from here. You want to rub it to heat it up, and then it'll stick really good. See? It doesn't come off. So now you start peeling the tape. What you do is just kind of like push it from the back and start peeling it. Okay? But try not to touch it if you can, because once you put a fingerprint on it, it will it won't stay on as long. So this one, remember, we're going to extend his arm so that we'll put it on in his arm or whatever part of the body is in fully stretched position. So now I'm gonna stretch it to probably close to the base right here, maybe to this line right there, palm. Yeah, let's do that here. Now you're gonna extend it all the way. I know it's gonna hurt. Right there, to that line there. I'm gonna rub this down first, heat it up, okay? And now I'm going to do the last two. You got to do these one at a time, okay? Because I'm just going to peel this part off right here first and hold the tip without, and extend it here. I'm going to stretch this fully now. Get a good stretch on this last part and put it down. And I'm taping it here. And the last part I don't do anything with. Okay. Get the piece again because I don't want to touch it. So extend his pinky all the way. You may need to use your leg here to back it up. Extend your hand back all the way. Okay. Putting it down here like this and strapping it down. And then the last part, you just lay it down. Extend it back all the way. And then just lay it down. Okay. So that's one. And see how I'm rubbing it, heating it up? I'm rubbing it this way. If I rub it this way and it starts peeling, then it starts to peel, and you don't want that. So I'm only rubbing it this way. So now, see, now that's pulling all the inflammation out this way. It's trying to pull it out. Basically, you do the same thing with the other one. I'm going to pause it. Okay, so the next one, I'll do the same thing on the other side. Start here. Okay. Okay, so remember, you take it at the beginning and you rip about an inch off. Peel that part off and let it start right here. And I rub it this direction, not this. I don't want to peel it, right? So I want to make sure I only go this direction to heat it up. Peel it off. So I take it and grab the two ends. He's going to extend it as far back as he can. Sorry, hang in there. And go to that. We're going to go to about right to the bottom of the fingers on this one. Okay. Put it there. Okay, this is going to be a little tricky. See how it's kind of...
For sure.
You're going to have to just lay it down.
Okay.
And rub it really good so that it stays. This is when you start stretching it down like this, it's going to be more of a chance for it to come off. If it's nice and straight, it works better. But here to just get all the creases out. Okay.
That hurt, honey?
It's a little tender, but it's not bad.
Okay, then we're going to do this one here. We're going to stretch it out all the way. Pull his thumb back. His forefinger, and let it down. Now this is a full stretch now. And it's a full stretch as long as it doesn't go all the way over to the edge.
Okay.
If you pull it too much and it goes over, then you don't pull it as much, basically. Take that off. There you go. There's one. Again, I'm going to stretch it all the way here. So I'm going to use my leg to buttress it in the back there. And then stretch it and do it. It's a challenge to do this. Okay? And then just lay it down. Okay. So now I'm just going to rub it really good. Looks like he has a cool glove on. Look at that. Okay. See, you don't want anything sticking out. See how, if you look here, it's kind of up above. You want to kind of rub everything down. See, you don't try to have everything on there because the tape needs to be on the skin in order for it to work. So, just put it down. If it starts to come off, just start to bring it down. We're not going to be able to get that one down. Let's see. Yeah, that's the best that we're going to be able to do. If it starts peeling off, just cut it off with a and make sure you don't cut his skin when you do that. Okay, that's how you do kinesio tape for the leg, for the arm.